And also qualifying so far when it comes to getting people interested. Now, this is what Zepherin's had to
Croatia
say.
won 3-0.
Thank you very much, Craig Burley.
I mean, it's close.
Perhaps the qualifiers could be different. There won't be any more matches, but a more interesting format. We're thinking about this right now. Jules, I was thinking about this in the shower before this show. Should have stayed there, really. But I don't know how you fix this.
No, that's a great question because inevitably they always want the big countries to be at the Euros or at the World Cup, right? So you can't do some sort of qualifiers that are similar to the Nations League, which we like because we see, France against England or Germany against Italy or Spain against Portugal, etc., etc. You can't do that because you want them all at the World Cup or all at the Euros. So they will still have at some point to face smaller teams. So do you do maybe a league phase? And the top 8 or the top 10 of that league phase qualified, you do some playoffs, so you still have big teams against each other, but sometimes they will also have to face smaller teams and batter them and being very uninteresting. I don't know how you do it really, because by definition, everybody have to compete, right? It's not like the Nations League. So I think it's very difficult. And we know that from next season, they changed the international break. So instead of having the one in September, October, November, they're going to mix it all in one kind of a longer one. So at least this is a little bit better. But I don't know how you make those qualifiers for the World Cup a bit more interesting, really.
Why did you hit the table?
Well, the Gibraltar scorelines upset me.
You thought they got their
I thought they got a point.
I mean,
you were Danny Higginbottom in Gibraltar.
What, you realised that? I don't know. I don't know where you go with this.
It's not easy. It doesn't seem like a quick
It's not.
fix. You're kind of stuck with it.
It's not, because there is qualification. You have to have qualification, so you have to have the matches. You have to have groups.
Everyone has to have a chance.
Yeah, it goes against the grain to have it in a certain way where eventually some of the bigger countries just could get knocked out, because let's be honest, we're already saturating these big tournaments with teams that are not going to compete just to try and appease and filter money down to some other countries and all that sort of stuff. And so FIFA can make more money. So I don't think there really is an easy answer. I suppose, as Jill said, condensing it all in sort of one period where we can all take a holiday.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And it's very and it's very crystal clear when those dates are. That's a good thing. I don't see how. I don't think it's an easy answer into how do you make these more exciting, because at the end of the day, the qualifiers are not about being exciting, they're about qualification.
Yes.
And you have to have a due process to have that done.
Unless you're Scottish.
Is this just us being elitist? Everyone's got to have a chance?
No.
If it's not entertaining us, then tough. It's not about that.
I mean, there's nothing you can't change it.
No. I don't think it's us. I think there's a lack of interest across the board. And I think the fact Zefferin's making these statements is an admittance that international football, out with the actual major tournaments itself, is becoming difficult.
Yeah,
nobody's interested.
There is a lack of interest because the focus has moved a lot to sort of club football, with the money that's gone in there, with the sort of humdrum that it draws and all the razzmatazz. Everybody now just wants to talk about, the Premier League, La Liga, the Champions League, all this sort of stuff. And international football, until it gets to the big tournaments, where it is to the fore, is just taking a huge backward step. And it's hard to put that right.
The positive side is they have made that change about condensing more games, getting rid of one window. I think that's great. Because apparently they're suggesting that it gives domestic football an extra week, which means teams get a break.
There you go.
So
Lovely.
That's the positive side of it.